Hi everyone, Mikey Bly back with another Object Show interview today and another fantastically awesome guest joining me today. It's Pikpilled, creator of
Pikpilled!
creator of Out in the Open, or OITO for short, OITO, making it a bit easier for ourselves. Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty okay. I honestly forgot just for a little bit because of school and such. I forgot I was doing this, but I came home and I'm like, oh, I gotta do an interview. And I was so excited. I've been waiting a while for this.
Yes, it's been really fun setting this one up, and thank you so much for reaching out as well. It's honestly it's blown my mind the people who've actually just been like pop me messages and stuff and saying, "Hey, you did that thing. Can I do that thing too?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah, you've been the talk of the town recently. You've been I like a lot of my friends. They're like, "Oh, Mikey Black, I know Mikey Black. Oh, I'm gonna get interview Mikey Black," and I'm like, "Ladies, calm down."
Oh, geez, yeah, it's been an interesting little bit of a time, definitely. But I'm having such a fun time, and I'm getting to talk to so many amazingly awesome people, and that includes you today. So yay! I've got a whole bunch of questions lined up, which you may or may not have seen ahead of time. Hey, spoiler alert, everybody! Everyone gets to see the questions ahead of time because I don't like putting people on the spot.
Oh, hell yes.
It just makes things a lot nicer because people can prep better. So we will.
Yeah, I don't think I would have prepped for a lot of these questions if I didn't have them.
Oh, yeah, honestly, I just don't want to. I just don't want to put people like on the spot, and I don't want to make it awkward. It's like, here's the questions. Have at it. Take all the time you need to review them. Chuck some in the bin
Yeah.
if you want. I don't mind. So let's get cracking with the first one. So this is always something I'm really interested to hear from people. So like, what was it that got you started in doing art and animation and just creativity? I mean, what sparked that?
Okay, it's been like this for a while now. Like ever since cause with the pandemic and all that stuff, I watched a lot of animation by that time, and it's just I daydream a lot, and it's gotten to a point where I was always like, I want to do that, I want to do that. I've been even before object shows because I haven't been, I'm not like all the oldies in the object show community where they've just been here forever since 2017. Like no, I've been here since 2020 during the post split era. So I haven't been there for that long, but I've always wanted to do animation and stuff like that, and I've just gotten really inspired most of the time from all the stuff I've been seeing. I watch a lot of stuff, daydream most of the time. And ever since I started drawing, people have been introducing me to these new programs and such. And it's very it's very accessible, all these programs that allow you to do art and animation, and it really does come a long way when you've been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
And so I've just seen myself become the person that I've wanted to be ever since I was a little Pickpill Junior.
It's really fun. It's cool to having all these people around to show you like new things and new stuff you could use to create with. And I've seen like lots of people talking about all these other different programs. We also had the big, super scary, briefly scary Adobe Animate moment a few weeks ago, which I think made a lot of people go,
Oh yeah.
hey, you know what? Maybe we should be talented and use maybe a couple of different things just in case something
Yeah.
decides to get taken away."
Yeah, I wasn't always an Adobe Animate wasn't the first thing that came up in my mind when I was watching object shows. Obviously at the time a lot of FLAs were very object shows are very open sourced,
Yeah.
where they release their FLAs and such. And I didn't know how to open an FLA because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what Adobe Animate was. And I was looking at some old object shows by creators and such, and some of them were made in Flash, and I just tried to get Flash first. I didn't really get Flash, and then it just ended up with me getting Adobe Animate. Specifically, I got Adobe Animate because of this one video by Graham Apple where he did an Adobe Animate tutorial and such.
Oh.
And I thought the platform looked really cool, and apparently everyone uses it. So, I got my hands on a very legal Adobe Animate copy, and I just had a lot of fun with it. It really does come a long way since I got it back in like 2023,
Oh wow.
and we're in the grand 26 now. And it's very weird seeing like all of my old stuff that I'm trying out for the first time, and just like seeing what I made the other day. It's like all so different. It's so weird.
It's good though. It's like shows progress. It's nice to have that old stuff lying around, so you can just sometimes look back at it and go, "Oh yeah, that's what I used to do."
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing sometimes though. Like I'm in a VC with friends, and we're all showing each other our old stuff, and then I show my old stuff and I realize how bad it is. Even though it's like not really what I do now, because obviously, I do things different now. But it's still like I still want to show. I'm like, no, 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 no. It's embarrassing.
I've had a few people send me messages with some of the older stuff in it and going, "Oh, geez, I can't believe this is something I did." It's like it's on YouTube, but it's unlisted now. I took it down.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Like there were like so many shows. Oh my god. It's terrible.
So, how did the idea of Oito come about? Where did that come from?
So, Oito was just kind of building up in my mind as I started creating more characters, because there was a certain point in 2024 where I was just making a whole bunch of object show characters,
Hmm.
just for no reason in particular. Probably like a lot of just asset practices, and making characters. And I remember I was at my grandma's house one time and I was making a bunch of characters, and I had like a goal to make like an object OC like every weekend.
Oh wow.
And that's where like most of the Oito characters are from, like Lanyard, Stafford, like a lot of them are from that. And there are some characters that were cut out the cast, but it was a lot bigger from the start.
Oh.
Um yeah. And so this continued on for a while, and obviously I couldn't like do the weekend the weekend object anymore, because it kind of like faded off in my mind. It just like didn't really I just didn't have the time. I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Fair
So I
enough.
was in so it all kind of began when I was in like a VC with my friend Spicy Bananas, who was the voice of Walkie Talkie and Smoothie. And like I like listened to her voice, and she like sounded like a really good voice actor in my opinion. Like I just like and then I like the idea of the object show came up in my head again. Out in the open, like, was it even decided yet? Like the name, the cast, like that was even it.
Hmm.
But I just kind of wanted to make something, because I have all these characters and I've been daydreaming about this show in my mind so much. I just like I had to make it. And so I told her that I wanted to voice in this project. And I think it's a little crazy how someone's project can like spark a whole someone's voice can spark a whole project, but that's literally what happened. So like I started getting like more of my friends to voice characters that I had in this like little FLA of mine, and I like created the cast from there, and it kind of just happened. And there are some characters in Oito that like weren't just past OCs, like Glorpy and Dogwater and like Jim Scooter. I think those were like characters I made specifically for Oida,
Hmm.
and Artificial Planet too. But I was just like I was just being like a little fan at the time, and I was just some of what's it called? That character specifically was made because I like recently watched an episode of Bean Show,
Neptune.
and so like wanted to make a Neptune character because I
Yeah.
really like Neptune. Probably not a good idea. Now that I think about it, I just like grown to not like Artificial Planet.
Oh
But
no.
everyone else I like them. Just not him. So yeah. The reason what's it called? Around that time when I was like making the cast, it was like September. And it was before I wrote the script and all that. And I used to go to the city a lot. And so I like saw Times Square. I'm like, ooh, that should I should probably this would be a perfect place for an object show.
Hmm.
And then I literally it all just happened.
Wow.
It just happened out of nowhere. I like wrote Oito in like 2 weeks. And yeah, it was just like I can barely remember it now, but I can remember it. But I just like you just like do things sometimes, and I think I was very happy with how it came out, at the time, because I didn't expect that I could like really take it this far. Usually when something pops up in your mind, it's just there and then it goes,
Oh yeah.
and you don't really commit to it. But this I did commit to because I did have a team and all that. It was a lot of my friends, and I didn't want to like neglect the object show. So yeah, it's kind of all happened at once, and I'm really glad I did it. Changed my life.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, and it's good to have that motivation. And it's so true, though, the amount of times that, like, it's just such a familiar kind of, like, scene to me to think about. Like, you were just walking, it was like, oh, and all of a sudden all this stuff came to you. It happens to me all the time when I'm walking. That's why I like going for walks. Because the thing goes up my
Yeah,
head more then. And having motivation, definitely having other people around to kind of motivate you helps as well. So you'd already start building the team. You had the VA straight off the bat, so it just
yeah,
kind of pushed you forwards that way. It's really it's awesome. And then to get it all done, it's like, right, I'm doing this. That's it. It's
yeah,
happening.
yeah. It was so weird. And then the reason I like the place, the time that I went in the city and I came up with the area where Out in the Open was supposed to be, it was just like right after I saw like a student film festival,
Huh.
and that's why I was there in the first place. So yeah, I'm glad I went to that.
That's it. Who knows? That inspiration might not have even popped up. See, you're just at the right place at the right
Probably
time.
not.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really
Well,
cool.
I thought of Oito like before I went to the city, but I probably would have. It would probably would have been in a different place.
Mm. So we've already mentioned one character you don't like anymore. But which idol character would you say is your favorite or favorites? If you do have one, I know sometimes it's hard to pick one because they're all your babies, you know. And like, which one do you enjoy writing for? I mean, that might have been the same as the favorites, but if they're different, then they're different.
Yeah, I do have a difference between like writing characters and liking the characters.
Mm.
Um, my favorite characters are Glorpy and Jim Scooter because I don't know, I really like them. They're like fun characters. And I know like some shows they like, they write all their favorite characters, give them most screen time and stuff. But sometimes you just really like the underdogs, and that's kind of all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, they're really fun. The one that I like to write the most is OSC fan
Mm.
because she's very easy to write, and well, that's why she's in like so many scenes. She's just so easy to write. It's like just an object show fan. That's literally what it is. So, and at the time when I was doing references and stuff, a lot of references, OSC fan doing OSC references, it's kind of a lot easier in a way.
Yeah, there's a lot of material there.
Yeah, a lot of material. It's a lot of yeah, basically. And the good thing is that when it comes to OSC fan, is that she's very liked within the community, and I see a lot of people like on TikTok, especially saying that like, oh, OSC fan is like a relatable, oh, this relatable character. And I'm like, yes, yes, I did it. Um, yeah, definitely the characters I do like to write or did before were like Popcorn and Microwave, which sucks because they're kind of out now.
Yeah.
They're kind of gone, but they were so fun to write. Maybe not Microwave as much because he's like a meme guy,
Mm.
but Popcorn definitely a fun character.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they were gems. They were gems.
Popcorn was
But yeah,
so
Popcorn is definitely like Lorpy, Jim Scooter, and Popcorn. Definitely like top 5 order characters.
Mm. Popcorn was like I can see how you can see like there could have been a lot of opportunity to give Popcorn some awesome lines.
Of course,
But
but it's how I can tell a story, I guess.
mm-hmm.
If I want to tell a story, it's how I'm gonna do it.
Oh yeah. And that's the way you got to stick to it once you've got the idea. Always OC fan, being relatable. Yeah, you did a good job with that one for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's there going like covered in all the merch. I'm like, wait a second. Oh no, I feel I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I felt like I related to her or if I felt called out by her.
Um, one thing I thought was really funny in episode 1 where like OC Finn was like, oh my Carrie Huang. Literally Carrie Huang, the guy, like commented on that TikTok. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's just OC Fan's God that appeared in the comment section.
Wow.
Cool.
Terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Ah, jeez, the voice from the clouds. Oh,
But
jeez,
yeah.
that's really funny.
And
Oh,
like going back to popcorn. I feel like popcorn would have gotten out either way. Like if I did a vote to eliminate, like
mm-hmm.
for viewer voting, popcorn would definitely have gotten out either way.
I feel the same way after watching the first episode. I've been like, well, yeah. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure when I was talking about the episode as well, I think I did mention that like a bit of a jerk. The egocentric characters are always ones to watch. The ones you watch out for the characters that always try to name the team after themselves. You know they're going to be trouble.
Yeah. Ugh.
Those ones.
Yeah, that's why popcorn and microwave got out.
Yeah.
That's why they're the first people who got out. They decided to name the teams after themselves and they're gone.
That's it. No, it's a dangerous move. Don't do it. Everyone
It
should
is.
learn from their mistakes.
Exactly. You can be the funniest guy ever, but you know, if you're just like a mean ball, if you're just like a rude little guy, I don't think people are gonna like you that much. You know, you're not gonna go very far.
Nope. And it's funny because I see lots of people as well on the flip side complain about like, oh well, they only put the mean/rude character in to get them out on purpose. Let's leave this one in. You know, like,
Dude.
Well.
Dude, Popcorn's voice actor literally said, "Oh yeah, just get all the mean characters out first." And I like laughed to myself. I really liked Popcorn. I really did.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because mean characters mean, but that doesn't mean they don't have character and they don't have that fun personality about them that can be enjoyable in some regards. But it is just tends to be the way that things go. Then when you act mean, it tends to not work well for you. Generally, you know.
I suppose. I guess.
So, how far ahead do you have the Oito story planned out? Like, did you just write each? I mean, you already talked about when you did that blitz of writing after being in the city, but like, was that just the first episode? Do you write so every now and then just write each episode as it comes around, or have you got this big story and everything mapped out already from start to finish?
So the story, yes.
Okay.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do for the next few episodes of Oito, like each challenge, each outcome. I have the whole elimination order. Like I know who's gonna win the whole thing. But when it comes to writing episodes, I write them after like the previous one comes out. Like Oito 3 like took a month to write after Oito 2 because I like there was a lot of criticism towards Oito 2 and I like rewrote the whole thing and it turned out a lot better. It was like Oito 3 like what's it called? Oito 3 was kind of similar to the previous 2 episodes and you know, I like took that extra time of writing and I did it. It looks so different. It looks much better.
Oh.
I really like it. You know, and I think that it's good to not have episodes previously written because of past creators. They wrote their episodes like the whole season and then you know, it's outdated. It's just not good and there's a lot of criticism and I just want to have that familiar object show experience where the episode comes out and then I write it and I do all that stuff and you know it's more present it's like kind of like my current work, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
And not just like something old and I'm like repeating myself like, oh no, I wrote this a year ago. No, when I like don't like something or something. But like no, I like wrote it just now. I like it and I think it's good. So I do write the episodes. I do write the episodes after they do come out. When it comes to the story, I had a whole different story like planned. There was like a previous version of the season where it was a lot of lore, it was a lot of outside the competition. But I realized when I'm watching, you know, other shows and like media outside of object shows, because that's a really good way. Like when you're writing, it's really good writing practice. I realized that it's a lot more fun when the story is based off of what the contestants do,
Mm.
like the characters do, rather than this outside force that, changes the whole game. Kind of like one in the yo-yo light in Teapot. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah, and then compare it to what the contestants are doing in BFDIA.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like two different writing styles, and I prefer the one where the if something bad is gonna happen, someone on the competition better mess it up. Someone in the contest should have to change the story, make it more interesting. And I think I like it because it definitely grows the characters more. Your actions do have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
And if that has to happen, that has to happen. And obviously I do like to have a little bit of world building. When it comes to Oito, I'm still like experimenting with Oito. That's like this whole show. I'm like experimenting with the whole thing. So I definitely want to try a little bit of everything when it comes to writing, like world building and all that stuff and all the relationship with the characters. But I just keep on moving, as I'm going. If I want to change something, I'll change something. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point too about writing stuff like in the present. So it's current writing. So if you do write something that's like
Of course.
a year ago, and then you look back at it and go, this joke doesn't land anymore. This doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone's moved on from this joke. It's like I'm getting rid of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Dude, you have no idea how many like past object show scripts I had with old jokes from like 2022 and like all of like it's so outdated. It's yeah. Yeah, it's so different.
But it's good. It's like you've got that. It's about getting that good balance, though. So you've got your kind of framework. Your super the outline of, like you say, the elimination order and the winner, all that stuff. But then when it comes to each
Mhm.
individual episode itself, it's like, right, well, I'm gonna build the elimination around whatever story I put together for this episode. So that's
Of course.
yeah, no, that's a really good way of doing it. It sounds really, really balanced. And it's like I like asking these questions to everybody because it's like it's really interesting to hear everybody's different opinions on these things. And honestly, it's like always get something different from people, which is great because
Mhm.
everybody's unique and everybody has their own way of thinking and working and doing stuff. Awesome.
Yeah, and the way you think is obviously gonna change throughout your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I obviously wouldn't write how I did in Oito 1, and I probably won't write how I am writing right now on Oito 3 later in like the future episodes. And everything's changing constantly, and I think that's good.
Yeah. Oh, and it is. It is. I like the idea of like trying out different things with the writing too, and trying the different like the world building stuff because it's like it's nice to have that little bit of something for people to look at and go, ooh, what happened there?
Yeah.
Get people talking,
Yeah.
right? So touched on this kind of a little bit, sort of already, but what actually inspired you to set the show in New York? Like generally, historically, I guess we see object shows being set in these strange, weird places, or it's like called Earth, but it's not the Earth we know. And there's been a few exceptions, numbers one, but yeah. But what made you decide to set the show in the real world?
Um, I think that New York is crazy, and it is. And so an object show is like the perfect thing to do in New York. Like I would probably see something like Oito happen in real life if it did,
Mm.
you know? And I feel like, if it's objects, and they're gonna do wacky stuff, obviously they're like kind of like people to us,
Mm-hmm.
they still have like real feelings and such, and like not everything's gonna be a joke all the time. People can die in in Oito forever and not come back. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a thing that can happen, and so I feel like it's a very appropriate place. Um, and I just think, and obviously, obviously, when I was thinking of all of this, I had a ton of inspiration from other shows, and so I kind of like crammed it into my little Oito box, and I got inspired by numbers, And so, if that's going to take place in Central Park, what's wrong with taking another show taking place in New York? Which obviously they're not in the same universe, obviously, but I really like how I did it. I really like how I put it in Times Square. I think because like no show has ever done that before.
No.
Where like the objects have just been in the city. And I really like shows that do that they're just in the city, they're real. Like one, there is a lot of world building, it's real people in the real world, like one and such. But I just really like the idea of just having a competition out in the open.
You said it. You said the name of the show. That's
You
it.
said
That's the name of the
it.
show.
That's the thing. It's scary. But yeah, I really like that I put it in Times Square. I probably wouldn't want to have it anywhere else.
No, if it just
make an
feels
object
right.
show like this.
If it just feels right, it just feels right. And that's the thing, because even with numbers being set in New York, it is in Central Park, so it's still kind of like this open area and that's what majority of competition-based object shows generally are, in these big open fields and with trees and stuff. So you don't generally see hustle and bustle of a city in the background, just residents just walking around, just going, what's going on there? It's
Yeah.
it was very unique.
I saw someone say that they were like complaining that there was no people in Times Square in Oedo. To answer that question, it's post production. It's a lot of post production. They edited out the crowd in the background. That's why you can't see them. That's why you can't see them. They cut it out.
I was thinking it was either that or they just like, closed set while the competitions are going on. It's like, we're just then again, closing the section like that. Post production is more believable than that. It's like we're just going to shut Times Square down.
Of course. I mean, who wouldn't shut a whole city down for Oedo? Am I right? Who wouldn't?
Worth it. Totally worth it.
The only time where like the city actually shut down for real was when COVID happened. And obviously people wouldn't want to do a competition during like a very dangerous outbreak in a pandemic. Like people wouldn't want to do that. Yeah. No. It's a post-production.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's good. All right. So there might be some hints in Oito itself here to answer this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So which other shows in the OSC are you a fan of? Were any particularly inspiring to you?
Honestly, I can't really name any at the top of my head. It's whatever just comes out at the time. If I'm recognized the show, like for example, like Orbit or like AB, or like some of my friend shows. Like I'm just whatever comes out at the time, it inspires me because it's very good a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And like for example, like Object Invasion will come out and I'll say my Object Invasion's like the best object show, is my favorite object show. And then WOAS will come out and I'll say WOAS is my favorite object show and it's the best object show. And then Numbers will come out and then I'll say Numbers is the most favorite and most. It's just it's a lot. I really can't choose one.
Yeah, I think we're kind of on similar pages there, especially with my ever-growing list of shows that I still need to add more to. It's so many.
Web 9A, Concept, Sob. Everything's my favorite object show.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's I don't know if it's just because if I'm too, I don't want to say too nice, although that's probably the words I'm actually probably looking for. But like, I haven't watched anything and been like, not watching any more of this. I've really like legitimately enjoyed all of the stuff I've watched so far. Like from like the smallest show that's just gotten started to like the big ones. It's like I really have enjoyed everything because it's just people pursuing something they really want to do and like getting it out there. It's like, and I always say to people, hey, getting something up and running instead of just like getting the idea is hard enough, but then actually putting all this stuff together and putting something out there for everybody to see. That's inspiring.
That's beautiful.
It's so
And
good.
you know, I heard Sentry say this one time, but it's very good if you are trying to get into the industry or like college. If because most of the time, object shows are it's an indie animation where you collaborate with a group of people and you make something and you release it out there like that looks good. Like if you just say that,
Mm-hmm.
that looks very good. And you know, I really like thought of it that way a lot more recently ever since I saw him say that. And yeah, it's just that is what it is. It's a lot of people working together just to make something. And yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, I know that. I know IFAF got into college using a clip from one of the episodes of Orc. So it's like it's beneficial if you're looking to get into that kind of thing for sure. You know, it's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I think I saw that where like someone used their Oak scene to get into college, or
Mm-hmm.
and that happened to that happened to a lot of other OSC people too, where they like use scenes from their object shows and got into college that way, or like used their graphic design for their object shows, and they kept going. They pursued their future with object shows. I especially I think Webs for Evs is a good example of this, where object shows like working for BFDI paid off his college tuition.
Ah, that's that's amazing. Oh, I love Webs. Webs is awesome.
Oh yes.
So if you could do a crossover episode with any other show, which one would you pick? Are there any other creators you'd like to work with? Not even specifically crossover stuff, just like, hey, this person's cool, let's bring them in on something.
I really like I really like having other OSC creators, you know, like collaborating with them.
Mm-hmm.
And because, you know, a lot of them are a very big inspiration. And so just like even I still get scared to even like talk to them because I'm like, wait, I like it. You're like my inspiration. What the hell? And yeah, that's on that. The the shows, if I were to collaborate with like an object show, um the top three I can name off my head is like Battle for a Hotdog by Nico Guy,
Mm-hmm.
Orbit by Mason's Bomb, and I would definitely love to get on that Centrifugal Media. Those are like the big three. And you know, obviously, you know, if I know like some people who have an object show, like I will do it too. But those are just like three I can name, you know, on the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm. No, that's some good bunch in there. It's funny because
Yeah.
every time I do one of these, I hear about a show I haven't watched yet. It's maybe been on my radar, maybe heard of it, but then as soon as someone mentions it specifically in one of these, I'm like, I suppose I better properly add it to my list now. So it's kind of good for me. It helps me scope out other things. This is kind of
No, yeah.
sneaky.
I say Battle for a Hot Dog by Nico Guy because Nico is like the reason I even like started doing this stuff. Like because he was at the time he was like literally one of my only friends who made an object show,
Hmm.
and or like he was the friend. He was the object show friend at the time. And he had an object show, and I thought that was really cool because you know, knowing someone who's made an object show, obviously you'd get really inspired by that. And so yeah, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Nico Guy. That's why I would definitely do a collab with Nico Guy on BIFA. And yeah, so like I'm like what's it called? I'm like I like want I want more people to watch Nico Guy's stuff because it's genuinely so good. And it's like it's a bunch of hidden gems.
There's a lot
But
of those.
yeah.
There's a lot of those. Then that's funny. That was the that was the one on your list. That I was like, right, better add that to the list because you're not the first person to mention that show to me.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I suppose I better. I've got a list. I've got a running list of stuff that I need to get to. So I'm just gonna add it.
Yeah.
I
I
got
just start like naming object shows and
it's like
adding more to your already full plate.
yeah, it's like 100. It's like yeah.
Concept.
Jeez. But yeah, I am like I'm trying to put more time aside to get through stuff for sure. But that's one of the fun things though about obviously when you talk about the collaboration opportunities and stuff. Like I know that so many people in the OSC always kind of reach out to each other, work together a lot. Lots of people work on each other's shows and pop onto other people's shows quite often and stuff like that. Um, like saw your name sneak up in the end credits of something over the weekend as well, actually. So it's like I know like you were doing a couple
Is
of
it? Wait. I'm gonna take a big fat guess. Is it
oh
Dafki?
well, wasn't it actually? This is a guessing game. How many more guesses can you get
Oh,
before you
well,
get
I
it?
mean, I was in Dafki is the thing.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't what I watched this
So
weekend though. It was more.
this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
okay, what was I in the credits of? When did this show come out? We're gonna play the guessing game. When did this
Oh
show
my!
come
It
out?
only came out yesterday.
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Daylight Savings Object Show.
There you go. That's what it
Yes.
was.
I don't know why, but when you said this weekend, I was thinking like the weekend before.
Oh, right. Well, see, well, that could have thrown you off a little bit then. But yeah, and
Yeah.
that's one of the really fun things though when I'm watching stuff, and like I'm always like totally like pausing the credits, like right, who else was working on this? And there's like starting to see so many like you start seeing the same names pop up, and it's like oh, they did this and they were on that, and it's awesome. I just love it. Like lots of helping each other out in collaboration, and that's kind of why this community is also really awesome because everybody is very much kind of like, yeah, cool, I'll come and do this. I'll do one silly little line for you, you know.
Yeah, especially since the OSC is still so small.
Mm,
Um, you start seeing people around a lot, and especially people who are, like what's it called? People who have been in a lot of shows. You definitely start to like recognize their work more.
yeah.
Like voice actors, like you start to hear their voice and everything. I like hear a character. I'm like, yep, that's Mr. Pizza. Yep. I like see someone's animation. I'm like, yep, that's Matt Snot. Yep, that's this guy. I can like start telling the souls of like their animation. So I just say their name and then soul after it.
It's true. It's true. I haven't got as keen an eye for animation styles. That's something I'm definitely not as good at doing. But when it comes to voices, I recognize people's voices a lot. I was like, oh, I know who this is. And then the credits roll. I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
yeah, it was 100%. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Especially like if it's someone you know who voices it and you hear their voice all the time.
Just make it easier
Yeah.
to spot it.
Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for anyone looking to start working on their own show or just doing any kind of like working on a show? Any kind of pro tips, insider tips?
Um yes. Um so most of the time when people start making an object show, most of the time if not, they will take too long and it'll never happen. Some shows, they take a couple years to get it out and then they do, and that's fine, but most of the time what I see is just, people are promoting their show, writing takes a while, storyboarding takes a while, everything takes like a long time.
Mm,
And like do what I did, like just start it, a lot of people have this perfectionist mindset, but your first episode, especially your like first two episodes, they're not gonna get, they're still finding their footing, and that's okay. Yeah, so don't worry about it like being perfect because no object show is perfect. It's an object show, so there's someone out there that's gonna hate it.
yep.
But don't let that stop you from just just keep going, and then you'll be way better at it than from when you started, and then you won't take too much time on it, and then you'll just like know the flow of things a lot easier, a lot faster, and it'll be just a lot easier for you to do in the end. especially when you get to releasing your show and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is that there will be a point. Well, first of all, there's like there's like 100 OSC creator tips video that is made by Miss Moniar. I
Yes.
recommend checking that out because that definitely helps, with like any category when doing object shows. And yeah. Okay. So another thing, there will be a lot of the time, some people are still, I think I already said this. Yeah, you're not gonna, your first episode is gonna be perfect. You're not gonna like it, and there will be some people out there that will discourage you and such. But most of the time, I think you should ignore it. If people are just being mean to you, because it's not for them. It's okay. Just like most of the time, I think it's okay to just block and move on. But some people can be mean, and some people will try to take you down. But if you like what you made and you think it's good, or you think that there could be some things that you could improve the next time you make an episode, then just go with that. And I think that's I think that's it.
Yeah, it's basically make it and then keep making it.
Yeah,
and
keep making it.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some you're gonna trip sometimes. They're gonna trip wire, but I think all the trips and all the what's the word? All of the downsides that come with making object shows generally just makes you a better creator. And again, it's not baby slap object show. It's working with a team most of the time and just being collaborative, just making something beautiful. And I really like that. It's really good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you've got to make some mistakes to learn along the way for sure. It's like you say, you're not going to be amazingly amazing straight from the get go, because that's just unfeasible. It's just not something you should be looking to aim for anyway. And if you're trying to if you're trying to perfection right off the bat, and then you look at the first episode and it's not, well, you're going to get discouraged if you go in there thinking you're going to make the best thing in the world. It's like you just do what you can with the resources you've got.
I don't think I can name like a single object show with like compare it to the most recent episode and the first episode. The first episode it's just not going to be better than the most recent one. And you'll see that, and then it'll eventually come to you that okay, not everyone's first episode is going to be great. Why does mine have to be like the best thing ever? You can make better stuff along the way. For example, like compare the first BFDIA to the most recent BFDIA, and that stuff takes time, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of criticism, and a lot of talent and skill to build up all throughout the time. And you'll eventually like be happy with like what you made. Like me, I'm happy with like what I'm going to be making for the next few Oito episodes, but I'm not happy with Oito 1, like right now, because that's old stuff. That's old news, right? You wouldn't listen to like the first song ever compared to, what's on your Spotify playlist. Like you wouldn't do that. Yeah. So don't worry about it being perfect, because sooner or later you're going to make something that you'll really like in retrospect to the first everything.
Definitely.
Thank you. And then everyone claps and everyone cheers, and then
definitely the this is something that's come up a few times too when it comes to the actual the criticism, and the fact that there's a very clear difference between like constructive criticism and people who are just being mean for the sake of being mean, and you've got to learn to separate those two things out. Like definitely, and like the people who are being mean,
separate those two things out, because I see people being mean to object shows all the time without really thinking in depth on what they could be and what they are before actually just like bringing their thoughts in on it.
Yeah, definitely, and like the whole block and move on sentiment, that I live by that. I definitely do that myself, to be honest. So it's like you don't have to put up with it. You don't worry about it.
Yes.
You should only have to deal with what you want to deal with. And if people are going to be jerks, chuck them in the bin.
Yeah, especially if they don't have an object show themselves, then just don't listen to them. It's worthless.
This is it's gonna start Pixar era of going and criticizing everybody else's object shows and then saying I'm allowed to because I've made one.
Yeah. Like, if you didn't make an object show, I think you should pipe down a little
Yeah.
bit.
Shh. Let the geniuses do their thing.
Yeah. I'd prefer someone who has made an object show to criticize my work.
Aside from me, obviously. Not that I do much criticizing. I don't think I've got it in me.
Well, I think you can because you have made an object show.
I mean, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, a show about object shows.
Well, yeah, an object show. It's a show with objects in it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'll take it. You know what? If that's my pass, that's my pass. I'll take it. All right, we'll wrap up with the usual thing I always like to ask. So, any final thoughts? Any words for the Oito fans? Any shout outs for anybody? Anything? This kind of like the floor's yours.
You guys changed my life in a lot of ways, and I don't think I could have. I don't even know what I would have done if I haven't made Oito. You know, I feel like I've developed a lot more from when I started, you know, when I originally wrote it, from now when I'm on episode 3. I didn't even think I would get here, you know, to begin with. It's very strange. And like seeing all the things that people have made for like my characters, like all the fan art and like cosplays and such, which I didn't even know people have done until like school on TikTok, where like it's just like so much things like for my characters. It's so beautiful, and I appreciate all of it because I don't know. I've just most of the time, you know, a lot of the stuff I made, I wasn't very confident in it. You know, I didn't really like it a lot, and I feel like, you know, with Oito, it's gotten me to like um my creations a lot more. And you know, it's just like I really like my fans. I really like everyone who likes the show, and yeah, I'm very grateful for them all the freaking time.
Oh, it's really sweet.
Oh,
Oh, see, we do have genuine emotions. You know, we're not just people in a computer. We're humans.
yeah, guys. I'm not. I'm just not. I don't like. I'm not the guy who just releases an episode every 5 months
and then disappears. You just don't exist for a while after that.
Yeah.
You're just gone.
You know, I don't talk to any of my friends. I don't go to school. I don't go to work. I don't do anything.
Oh, jeez.
I just go on my computer every once in a while. Everything's done. I made it. I'm just the Oito guy, not Pikpilled.
The Oito guy. Oh, jeez. Anytime you go to a convention now, it should just be like the Oito guy. That should be your name tag. Oh, well, thank you so much for spending some time here today, taking the time out of your day to come and talk to this, well, whoever I am, Mikey. That's my name.
Whoever you are.
But that's the thing with these interviews. It is all about the people who are being interviewed because, you know, I'm here to give you a chance to, you know, get people to know you a bit better, know your show a bit better, and I think mission accomplished today. So again, thanks so much for being here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, however much is left of it.
Oh hell yes! Oh, it's about a good like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, you got a little bit more time than I have left. The time change just throw me right off.
Yeah.
Bloody clocks.
Oh yeah, the time change genuinely did me so horrible. Like woke up for school this morning, and I was so tired. I almost like fell out of my bed.
Yeah, it's weird. It didn't hit me yesterday, but it hit me today. I think that's why it's been feeling weird today. Because the clocks.
Yeah.
The only good thing about daylight savings right now is daylight savings object show. That's the only good thing about it.
Yes, yes, we love the daylight savings object show.
Literally, because it's when you know a new episode's coming out. I was talking to this total tangent. Meant to be wrap this interview up, everybody, but guess what? So I'm getting sidetracked by thoughts now. I was talking to someone in Blue Sky about daylight savings. So I posted about episode 3 being out. And somebody commented on it saying, "Wait, episode 2 already came out as well? I watched episode 1. I was waiting for episode 2. I'm like, it's literally the only show where you know the exact date the next episode's going to be coming out because it's set specifically around when the clocks change."
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude, that's for a lot of shows. A lot of people like forget that like the episodes come out.
Anyway, I mean, on the bright side, I guess I pointed this person towards episode 2 as well. So I did remind somebody that a show existed. You know, that's kind of like,
yes.
Well, so you know, I did my good deed. That was my good deed for the weekend. All right, I'll try and properly wrap this up now because I kind of started, didn't I? And then I failed miserably.
No, let's make this interview 3 hours long.
Don't tempt me.
Much longer than Stones and Centuries.
Yes,
that's my goal is to beat them.
Oh shoot, that's it. It's like, you see, we should have gone for the record. Oh
yes.
Need another 10 questions, quick. But no, thank you. I've had so much fun. I really have a lot of fun doing these, and it's really nice to get to know the people who make the shows like better, and it's been a genuine pleasure to have you here. So thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot more people need to understand that, you know, they're not just content machines behind a screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Toby Fox, just talk to your fans sometimes, you know, once in a while and leave again. No.
Oh no, it's all about the engagement. That's what it is.